So today, we're going to dive into a pretty scary new cyber threat. We're going to break down how a sophisticated attack using something as simple as a SIM card was designed to completely silence a major American city. Let's get right into it.
Just take a second and really picture that. No calls, no texts, no data. And we're not just talking about an inconvenience here, right? The fallout would be, it'd be catastrophic and immediate.
Right off the bat, the first thing to go, the most critical lifeline we have. Think about it. Every single person trying to call for an ambulance, report a fire, or get in touch with the police would just be met with silence? Just like that. The city's entire emergency response system is cut off from the very people it's supposed to protect.
Next, the literal heart of the global economy, Wall Street, would grind to a halt. You know all those two-factor authentication codes you get? Every secure trade confirmation? All that real-time market data zipping to traders' phones? Poof, gone. It would trigger instant financial chaos.
And here's the kicker. Even if first responders wanted to help, they couldn't. Police, firefighters, paramedics, they're all relying on their phones and radios to coordinate. Without that, they're flying blind, unable to talk to each other, unable to get to where they're needed. A city of millions left completely and totally vulnerable.
So what kind of weapon could possibly cause this level of chaos? We're not talking about your typical cyber attack here, the kind that just barges in from the outside. This is something different. A whole new generation of digital warfare. One that actually weaponizes the mobile network against itself.
It's called a SIM-based DDoS attack. Okay, so picture this. Tens of thousands, maybe millions of phones all trying to connect to the exact same cell tower at the exact same millisecond. They basically just bombard the network's control system until it collapses. But here's the genius part, or the terrifying part. To the network, every single one of those requests looks totally legit.
This really shows you how much things have changed. Your old-school DDoS attacks, they were like a big, dumb traffic jam on the data highway. Super noisy, really obvious, and you could see it coming a mile away. This new method, though, it's stealthy. The analogy of the air traffic control tower is perfect. It's like a million people, all with valid tickets, showing up at once and demanding the tower reroute their flights. It doesn't target the highway, it targets the brain, the network's mission control.
So how in the world do they actually pull this off? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the blueprint of this attack.
Okay, so the main target is something called the control plane. You can just think of it as the network's brain. You've got the data plane. That's the massive superhighway where all our videos and texts travel. But then you have the control plane. It's the much more delicate system that handles things like, hey, is this user legit? And, okay, route this call over here. And here's the key vulnerability. It was never, ever built to handle a massive flood of requests all at once.
So the attackers run this like a playbook. 4 distinct stages. This isn't just some random hacking. It's like a military operation, really. It starts with recon and ends with a full-on digital assault. So let's walk through how they do it. First up is Stage 1, recon. They do their homework, scouting the telecom network to find all the weak points. Stage 2 is when they get their army ready. We're talking massive SIM farms, cloned SIM cards, maybe even a botnet of compromised IoT devices, smart fridges and cameras. Then, Stage 3, they unleash hell, a massive tidal wave of connection requests all hammering one target. And that brings us to Stage 4, the impact. The goal is to completely overwhelm the network's brain.
So, what if they'd pulled it off? What if the attack actually succeeded? Well, that one technical failure would have set off this terrifying domino effect, turning a simple network problem into an absolute citywide crisis.
The direct impact is pretty much what we talked about at the start, a total communications blackout. For you and me, that means no calls, no texts. Simple as that. But the really critical part, nobody can reach 911. Those lifelines we just assume will always be there, gone, vanished. And the entire city's safety is suddenly at risk. But the damage doesn't stop with our personal phones. It cascades outwards. Just think for a second. Hospitals, they need these networks to coordinate patient care. Wall Street needs them for secure trades. All those smart devices in our transportation systems and power grids, they'd all go dark. One by one, these pillars of a modern city would just start to crumble. And this is why the experts look at this and don't just see hacking. They see it for what it is, a form of asymmetric warfare. It's a genuine national security threat designed to cripple a whole city without ever firing a single bullet.
Okay, so the threat is very real.
And it is very, very serious. But the good news is, we're not just sitting ducks. There's a race happening right now to build the digital shields we need to defend our networks.
And the blueprint for that defense is pretty clear. First, the telecom companies need smarter systems. Think AI-based anomaly detection that can actually spot these weird traffic floods before they become a full-blown crisis. They also need to upgrade their firewalls for the core network protocols. But here's the thing, tech alone won't cut it. Just like the attackers do recon, our side needs to be sharing intelligence. That means the industry and the government have to work together.
When it comes down to it, this has to be a team sport. Yeah, the telecom providers have to beef up their own networks for sure. But we also need a single, unified national response plan, something that gets government agencies like DHS, CISA, and the FCC all on the same page with the private sector. The goal is one big, resilient digital shield.
So, what's the big lesson in all of this? Well, it's that the digital battlefield is constantly changing. Our most critical infrastructure, the stuff we can't live without, has these hidden weak spots. And you can bet our adversaries are out there right now actively hunting for them, with some seriously scary sophistication.
And that really leaves us with one big critical question. We've built these incredible, hyper-connected cities that all depend on this super delicate web of technology. But in our rush to connect absolutely everything, did we actually build a fortress? Or did we just build an incredibly elaborate house of cards, just waiting for one single, well-placed push to bring it all down?